We watched them roll up the turnaround and across the line.
So we got talked just to weekend.
We had more stress than we made that
Oh, you had it right.
that's not doing it. I thought it was a really big job. It was in didn't have stuff like that. And it was white painting and all that. He said, when it's white painting, you can't
Work there.
near the wall.
It backs onto our post.
Yeah.
Tiny little bit of corner.
I heard somebody doing something in the shop.
You probably know.
I did yesterday.
Yeah, the end of the day,
There's construction in progress there.
Oh, there is some construction, yeah, but we got all new windows, well not all new, but half new windows.
I heard somebody doing something.
Wednesday.
I want my life to be Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to this beautiful venue today together to celebrate the incredible life of Kevin Guy. We're here not just to say goodbye, but to honour a man who means so much to all of us, a friend, a father, a brother, a husband, an in-law, and a doggy dad and doggy granddad. Kevin had a remarkable impact on everyone here, and it's an honour to be standing here in front of you reflecting on his life and legacy. My name is Tom. For those of you who don't know me, I have the privilege of being Kevin's son-in-law. And throughout our time together, he has quickly become someone I consider a close friend. Someone I regularly called for advice, someone who stood by me whilst I renovated our house, and someone who I enjoyed sharing a meme or funny video throughout the day. While I may not be an official celebrant, the family is asking me to lead today's celebration, and it's a privilege to do so. But today, let's start at the beginning. 1953, a year for the history books, the first successful ascent of Mount Everest, the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, and of course the birth of Kevin Guy in North Shields, Northumberland. Fittingly, given one of Kevin's passions in life, the number one song of 1953 was How Much Is That Doggy in the Window? Kevin grew up in the north of England, but his story truly began to unfold in 1964 when, as a 10-year-old boy, he boarded a plane to Australia with his brother James and his parents as a 10-pound pom. The journey wasn't short or simple. It took him through places like Beirut, Karachi, Singapore, Darwin, Sydney and Melbourne, before finally making the drive from Melbourne up to Mansfield with his uncle Les on a dirt road that we now call the Maroondah Highway. Mansfield and the Victorian High Country became home, and it's clear that the area left a lasting impression on Kevin, a place that would hold dear memories to him throughout his entire life. After a fun and experience-rich first period of his life, along came Letitia, the love of his life. The two of them then settled in Canberra, where they built a beautiful family, two wonderful daughters who were the light of his life. Kevin was a proud father, and we can all see how deeply he adored his three girls. In Canberra, Kevin cultivated lifelong friendships that we'll hear about today. And whether in his work or personal life, he was known for his unwavering integrity and helpfulness. When the time came to retire, Kevin and Tish moved to Tasmania, where they lived out their dream of a peaceful, fulfilling retirement. With Tish by his side and his beloved dog Charlie, Kevin could enjoy the quiet joys of life. But even in retirement, his impact never faded. He stayed connected to those around him, whether near or far, always ready to lend a hand, share a story, cook a delicious meal, take a phone call to help a friend through a difficult time, or provide some handy advice. Over the past few weeks, the family had many conversations about how Kevin would like to be remembered and what kind of farewell he would want. Kevin, ever the practical man, made it clear. No fanfare, no fuss, and no religion. While we can respect many of your wishes, Kevin, today there's no way we can send you off without the fuss and fanfare you deserve. You've impacted so many lives, and we're here today to show you just how much we all care. One phrase that kept coming up when we talked about Kevin was he enjoyed the simple things. But I don't think that phrase fully captures who he was. Simple might be a bit misleading. He was a man grounded in what truly mattered. As his brother James put it perfectly, Kevin had three great passions: family, friends, and pets. This was a man who had priorities in order and knew what truly mattered. When it comes to family, he adored them with every fibre of his being. His daughters were his pride, and he loved spending time with them and supporting them in their lives. Their memories of Kevin involved him regularly taking them to the beach, the snow, nature walks and road trips. As a dad, they describe him as hands-on, proud, passionate, resilient and strong. Letitia was the love of his life. He adored her. Tish describes Kevin as a faithful, loving, funny, intelligent and hard-working husband. She had a lot more words to describe him, but it would have taken a lot longer to get through. He met Tish through a mutual friend while Kevin was helping them move house. And just in classic Kevin style, And just 6 months later, they tied the knot and began a strong marriage that is just a few months short of 50 years. She adored his helpfulness and creativity and admired how sought after he was by all who knew him as the man you went to fix anything and everything. Family was the anchor for everything for Kevin, and he maintained strong relationships with his brother James, as well as his nieces, nephews, and their own children. Kevin was there and a light for everyone. Kevin loved his friends of friends, and literally had time for everyone he crossed paths with. In the final weeks, the endless phone calls and texts from friends, both near and far, was inspirational and heartwarming. Connecting with people, whether as a neighbour, colleague, friend, or Twitter correspondent, however the connection was made, he always had time for everyone. He loved to cook, entertain, share his extensive knowledge on a range of topics, or discuss his views on the news of the day. And let's not forget Kevin's third love, dogs. He had an undeniable bond with his furry friends, and you could see the joy in his face when he was around them. From Charlie the Corgi, Bo the Corgi Pomeranian, and Helga the German Shepherd, to the grand dogs, Harley, Howard, and Harold. Kevin's love for his pets was something special and an absolute joy to witness and be a part of. In the final days, as messages of love and gratitude poured in from friends and family alike, one thing was really clear. Kevin's legacy wasn't just in the memories he made, but in the countless ways he helped others. Whether it was fixing a car, building a house, debugging a computer, or just being there when you needed him. One story very apt for Kevin was when his youngest daughter Catherine was in hospital. As we know, Kevin loves to chat and is interested in everyone and their lives. Through discussions with one of the nurses, he learned that she was having issues with her computer at home. Kevin, being the resourceful and altruistic man we know him to be, went in and fixed a computer at home for this nurse as a gift for her hard work helping Catherine while she was in hospital. Kevin's helpfulness was a cornerstone of who he was as a man, and he never did it for recognition or reward. It was purely because he cared and because it made him and others happy. The example Kevin set for all of us in the way that he befriended all, helped many, and made every opportunity to make the world a better place. I'm sure we can all take note out of the Kevin Guy playbook on how we should go about our lives. So today, as we gather to celebrate a life well lived, a man who knew what truly matters is the love we share, the friendships we build, and the animals we cuddle along the way. Kevin was a man of immense internal strength, whose impact will be felt for years to come. I'd like to invite his daughter, Kat, up, who's going to introduce a teaching video.
It's been a pleasure over the past few days going through the many photos and memories, the countless photo albums to those sent from Dad's friends and family. When it came to choosing the photos for this presentation, it was hard to bring down the hundreds that we found for this final selection. Dad lived a rich life.
He lived a rich life, surrounded by family with many friends, in many places, and always had many stories to tell. Please enjoy this little trip down memory lane.
If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. If I could make days last forever, if words could make wishes come true, I'd save every day like a treasure, and then again I would spend them with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time with. But time has passed us by. Someone else moved in and followed.
Thank you, that was lovely. We all have our own stories and memories of Kevin. And today was an opportunity to provide everyone with the chance to share these messages and words of thanks with Kevin. We thank everyone from near or far who has made a contribution to what we're about to read out. Teresa, Catherine and I will also be here. We will be reading out contributions that other people have sent in, but if you do have something that you would like to read out and you're not able to get through it for obvious reasons, we are here to support you and we can read it out on your behalf if you don't feel comfortable standing up and speaking today. Anyone to start us off? Teresa, would you like to?
Do you want to start with me?
I'll get the hat.
Alright. I'll try. As a word like letters to Dad. So, to use a phrase I've heard in my life many times from you, I always thought and still think the sun shines out of your ass. I know everyone says they have the best dad, but we truly did. There was not one day that went by that I wasn't certain that I was loved, that I could rely on you when I could muster up the courage to tell you about my problems, and I knew you would help me solve them. Your dad's spidey senses never ceased to amaze me, and there was always times you knew I needed you before I was ready to tell you. And I'll never forget the day you called me just for a chat randomly one morning when I was on the other side of the country, and it was the day I really needed my dad the most. A lot of my memories with you were anchored around songs, road trips, nights in the lounge, being deafened by music I pretended to hate, random YouTube videos you sent me at 2 a.m, and I was always excited to text you and send you videos from concerts of bands I ended up loving because of you. You always told me how you loved how real music could make you feel, and how much you loved a singer with power and emotion or just raw musical talent. And I enjoyed how much you would dissect or resonate with the lyrics and the tunes. We only disagree when it comes to rap crap, but I enjoyed how you believed it would never stand the test of time and make me feel any real emotion. And this is still open for debate. There are songs that stayed with me all of my life, and one that has touched us all recently is In the Living Years by Mike and the Mechanics. You told me why it meant something to you, and you told me the importance of telling people how you feel, how much you value them, and how much they mean to you. And I hope I succeeded in telling you how much you meant to me, and that you had no doubt how much I loved and appreciated you. And I do make sure I tell all the important people in my life, even when the words are really hard to find. Like many people have echoed in the messages and calls we have had with friends and family over the past weeks, you were truly an amazing man. You had the biggest hearts, strong values, and we were incredibly generous in every way. And our house was always a loving home where everyone was welcome, and our pets weren't just pets, they were family. You always knew something about everything, and I'm grateful for everything you tried to teach me. But I'm sorry, I can't service my own car. But I assure you, I've stopped blowing up computers, and I can usually pull something apart and put it back together again to clean it or find the bit that broke. I am who I am because of you, and these last few months have been truly special. Thank you for fighting so hard to stay around as long as you could. I'm going to miss you so much, and cherish every one of your magical daddy hugs that could cure nearly anything. And I'm going to love you forever. That's it. Now I've left it, does anyone want me to read someone else's? Sorry.
This is from Ian and Trish. Ian and Trish have shared their memories of their time living with Kevin in Liffey Circuit, in Kaylee, a place that holds many memories for Kevin, Tish, Teresa and Catherine. This is from Ian, and I'm reading it on his behalf. I'm sitting here reliving our shared life and friendship. I'm also having a wee dram, or as Kev would say, there's no such thing as a wee dram. He always had a heavy hand with scotch. We first met Kevin and Tish in June 1979 when we moved into Liffey Circuit. We had 2 young kids. Kevin and Tish were still practicing. Eventually Teresa arrived, and Catherine some years later. Kevin was always, we can fix that, we can install that, we can repair that impossibly broken thing. Together, Or should I say, with Kevin's help, we repaired ageing cars, rebuilt engines, installed new gearboxes, and the list goes on. We renovated our respective bathrooms and ensuites. Neither of us having done this before, but in true Kevin style, he would always say, "Can't be that hard, can it?" Kevin completed a major renovation and extension to their house, adding a family room, 2 new bedrooms, and an entertaining deck, where we had many wonderful gatherings. I vividly remember trying to help Kevin off the roof of the house when the renovations were in full swing. He had had a panic attack, and I thought that this was a bit strange, but then Kev shakily explained that he had a fear of heights following a nasty fall that he had when working on the Dartmouth Dam. Kevin built PCs for many of us in the neighbourhood at a time when this was new and foreign. Kevin was always around to help everyone in the street, especially older neighbours who spoke little English and needed help with everyday tasks. Things didn't always go to plan, of course, and there were some notable problems. For instance, when repairing an engine, the timing chain slipped and disappeared into the crankcase. Of course, Kevin said, "Oh dear." However, the words might have been a little bit different than that. Kevin and Tish always had animals. Helga and her best mate, Jet the cat, played their favourite game, with Kev saying to Helga, "Where's Jet?" A pursuit would ensue, and Jet would be mouthed by Helga and then spat out. Jet, less than impressed, would sit licking himself clean, waiting for the next replay. The girls convinced Kev to get another dog. Kev named him Bo. Bloody horrible, in Kev's words, and later Charlie. He doted on them all and really showed his soft side. Kevin loved a good game of chess, and many a night was spent playing till the wee small hours. We also both enjoyed a good port or two, and a bottle would sometimes be emptied during the course of an evening. Long after both Trish and Tish had gone to bed after all, it would go bad if you left some in the bottle. It was not always work. There were many parties, New Year's Eve progressive dinners, Saturday barbecues, and sharing in each other's special moments, just because we could. Kevin and Tish both liked very similar things: fantasy novels and movies, especially dragons and orcs. They loved Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, and once they had the idea to stay up and watch all 3 movies, age got them in the end, and they only managed 2. They both loved art and painting, Trish admiring Kevin's horse paintings. Their other passion was music. They would listen to Deep Purple, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, sometimes playing along with their air guitars in the living room. Even though we lived apart for the last 12 years or so, there were still animated conversations, and when we did catch up, it was always as if nothing had changed. Kevin was a good friend, a mate, confident, and above all, a caring and gentle man, hidden behind a sometimes gruff exterior. He had an infectious laugh and impish ways. He loved all his family and friends unconditionally. A huge hole we left with his passing, but we take comfort in the many happy times we spent with him over the years. Kev, we will miss you and your larrikin ways. Thank you, Ian and Trish, for sending that through. Is there anyone else who would like to come up and share some thoughts? Kevin. Come up, Lucy.
When the newlywed Tish and Kevin visited us in the Philippines, we were also excited, and we were thinking Tish was introducing to us James Bond movie actor Roger. But it wasn't just an outside appearance. Kevin was really a beautiful person inside and out. He's got a good sense of humor, a joy to be with. But most of all, he's so loving, kind, and caring. While this exceptional character stood out and had left an impact on the lives of the people he touched, he was also very intelligent. We had branded him as an all-knowing Kevin, the all-knowing Kevin, the walking encyclopedia. Any question thrown at him, he would have an answer. Not only an answer, but followed by a thorough explanation. But there's one thing that I will never forget and shall be forever grateful for. It's when he took a great road trip with my sister from Melbourne right after the heart episode. We proceeded to Chinchilla to pay a surprise visit to Mon and Roma. And just when I thought they were back to Tasmania, I opened the door and there's space in front of the door. What a great surprise, because I hadn't seen my sister for 10 years. Kevin loved and cared so much that despite his ill health, he tried his best to fulfill their intended trip. Now I call this great road trip a great love trip. To you, wonderful Kevin, you're not only my brother-in-law, you are my brother. You are very much loved. We shall always love you and forever remember you.
Excellent. That was lovely. Is there anyone else who would like to contribute?
Yes, and no.
Right?
Good afternoon. My name's Graham, my wife Ophelia over there. Listening to what's just been going on, there's very little that I can add to it. I have a number of points there, but I think I'll skip over them all. On most of them. I first met Kevin when we were working in Canberra, These Brothers, about 50 odd years ago. We were both acting as surveyors at the time. There was another surveyor there whose name was Arturo, we knew him as Arthur. He invited myself and Kevin to a party. Didn't say much about it really, apart from the fact that Stubbies t-shirts and thongs probably weren't appropriate. And it turned out that the party was at the Filipino embassy. He met Letitia. And they got married. Kevin and I were living in a unit, sharing a unit at the time. Having been married, great for Kevin, but not so much for me, so I had to get out and go back home. But so be it. It's been mentioned about Kevin and his cars. I can't talk any more about that. It's already been said. Helping everybody, I can't talk about that because he helps everybody. There's one thing I would say. Kevin and I did have some minor disagreements over the years. But there was one significant disagreement that we never resolved. And that's who makes the best Christmas movie. In closing, I'd like to say on behalf of myself and Ophelia, thank you, Kit, for being a friend, allowing us to be part of your family, and being there whenever we needed help. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. That was lovely. Mom, would you like to ask?
All right.
Good afternoon. name is Ramon. I'm the brother-in-law of Kevin. Kevin is not only my brother-in-law, he is my best friend and my mate. And also my consultant. I call him extraordinary genius. I could not forget his kindness, generosity, and being helpful to all people, not only to his family. When we came here, first in Australia, he gave me a car so that I can get to work. And one time, when the car has a problem with the steering wheel, I didn't use that day, but on that day, when I got home, the steering wheel has been fixed and ready for me to use it again. Actually, I have so many things to tell about Kevin, our experiences and things like that. And he even told me to be a handyman. So many things. I think we will end up until midnight if I have to mention to you everything. And I can make it short. We also talk about, of course, our favorite drinks is scotch. I thought the scotch is just all the same taste, but he told me try a single malt. It's very different from the one you are drinking, like Black Label or things like that. Chivas Regal is a rubbish drink, so don't drink Chivas Regal. So anyway, Kevin, although you are no longer physically with us, you will remain in our hearts and your spirit will always be felt. Thank you for coming into our lives and enriching all of us. You are an amazing person that showed us to live life to the fullest and give back to others. Rest in peace. Thanks for everything, my friend, Kevin, my mate. See you later. Thank you. By the way, I have Aaron texted me. Can I read what Aaron texted me to share? I can find it. Okay. Uncle Kevin, when I first met you, you stood out with your sharp but kind eyes and a booming voice among the soft-spoken Filipinos. As we chatted, you welcomed me into the family, sharing little quirks and stories that made me realize you weren't so scary after all. The home you created with Auntie Letty was always warm and inviting. And Rosa and I hope to create that same feeling for our own family. We're truly grateful that we got to spend time with you in your last week. Isabella, Elijah, and Nicolas love meeting you and listening to our random chatter. I only wish we had more time to talk about politics, cars, and of course, making fun of Norma.
Always.
Rest easy, you live a wonderful, fulfilled life, and we will always remember you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom. That was beautiful. And Trace, would you like to come up and read some reflections that have been sent in?
Right. This one is from Greg and Mary. So they've written to us a few memories of Dad and their over 49-year friendship. So I'll be speaking on Greg's behalf as he writes for them both. So my first meeting with Kevin in 1976 was when we both were assigned to a survey team to work on the road set out for a new picnic area at Yarra Crossing to the west of Canberra. That was it. We were friends from that day on. It has been mine and Mary's pleasure to know both Kevin and Tish since then. Our eldest children knew them as Uncle Kevin and Auntie Tish. Kevin was Ben, our eldest's godfather. Our early memories as young married couples together include many barbecues and coffees, beers and late nights listening to the latest LPs being played on the record player, and perhaps some dancing in the lounge room. New Year's Eves when Kevin would leave by the back door and come in through the front door ready for the new year to begin. Car maintenance and rebuilding, Kevin becoming an owner builder and building his own extension on the back of the Kaleen house, playing chess at lunchtime in the survey office, him proudly cooking pizzas at Short Street when we visited Tasmania and driving us around in the back of the Mercs showing us the sights. I remember him telling a story about working on the Dartmouth Dam in Victoria. He was working in part of the tunnel complex when a misstep found him hanging by one arm from reinforcing steel in a shaft. I can't remember how he got out, but on the odd occasion he complained about the pain in his shoulder. Kevin was always generous, ready to give a helping hand. He had a quick wit and a droll sense of humour with a cheeky laugh and had an opinion on everything and loved a good debate. He loved Tish and the girls and had a big heart for his beloved pets. We will miss you, Kevin. Rest in peace.
Riddell, Kevin's nephew and my cousin, has also written in today with a few memories. When I was young, I never ate my vegetables, and I remember the day Uncle forced me to eat carrots and it made me cry. Who would have believed this moment made a significant impact in my life? As growing up, I have devoted half my life to help people to live a healthier lifestyle, and I am now a big advocate in eating vegetables and greens, and when I look back at this moment, it turns out he led me in the right direction. I remember I had a phone call with Uncle Kevin, and I told him I wanted to be a property developer, and I had massive doubts as it was such a scary thought to take on this responsibility. He said to me, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. You fast forward to today, and we are now involved in numerous development projects, and I've made it a mission to contribute to Australia's housing. When I look back, Uncle had a big part to play in this. I wish to thank you, Uncle, because you have contributed to this world in more ways than one.
So this is from Lulu, and so this is Mum's sister and our auntie living in the Philippines. She's written on behalf of the family. It's hard to find the words to express the sadness we all feel, but I want to take a moment to share a few thoughts about the wonderful person he was. Kevin was more than my beloved sister's husband. He was part of our family. He welcomed us with open arms and a warm smile, and I remember when he first visited us, I thought he was Roger Moore, very handsome. Besides his good looks, he is very friendly and handy around the house. It was clear to everyone how much he loved Tish, and the happiness they shared was a joy to witness. He had a great sense of humour, infectious enthusiasm, quiet strength, and a jack of all trades. He will be deeply missed by us all. While we grieve this immense loss, let us also remember the joy he brought into our lives. Let us cherish the memories we shared and find comfort in each other's support. Tish, we're here for you always, and we love you.
I'm about to speak on behalf of Sheena and George, who've shared memories of time spent with Kevin, which started as a friendship between our mum and Sheena, that then evolved into something bigger between them all. I first met Tish when she came to work at Abbott Tower Solicitors in Canberra in or around 2002. Our friendship flourished and we were invited to their home in Kaleen to meet Kevin, their 2 beautiful daughters and their dog. Kevin was a larger-than-life man with a huge personality, and he was also a wonderful chef. We enjoyed a number of meals cooked by Kevin, and we especially loved his whiskey beef burgers. When they decided to move to Tasmania, we promised to keep in touch. So every time we went on a cruise which called in at Hobart, Kevin and Tish would drive down the day before our disembarkation in Hobart and meet us at the cruise terminal. Kevin would chauffeur us around the area, even going as far as the Huon Valley, lunching at the cider factory, which we loved. We have been to many places within an easy driving distance, courtesy of Kevin and Tish. We last met them in February 2004 when he took us to a restaurant in the middle of nowhere, and what a feast we had. Both couples ordered the seafood platter for 2, and we challenged each other to finish it. Unfortunately, none of us could, as the platter was enormous. We just looked at each other and said, where do we even start? Kevin was the go-to man for any issues, with our computer or system or just simply bouncing ideas off him. He was very knowledgeable in a huge number of subjects, and many nights he and George would debate world affairs, cars and motorbikes, to name a few, always with a glass of malt whiskey in their hand. Kevin had many attributes, and the top 3 in our opinion would be his knowledge, his honesty and his generosity. We had the opportunity to speak with him on speakerphone the day before he died. We were travelling home after another cruise and driving past Lake George near Canberra, which was full of water at the time. Although he was unable to speak, we described the scenery to him, and hopefully he had good visions and memories of the lake, which he would have driven past and enjoyed over many occasions during his years of living in Canberra. We just wish we had had the opportunity to hear his views on President Donald Trump. Now, wouldn't that have been an interesting conversation?
This next one is from Kellyanne, our cousin, and she's shared memories of Uncle Kevin, her godfather, and someone who our dad adored and often spoke very fondly of. And so these are some of her favourite memories. She remembers his record collection, but not the War of the Worlds, because that scared the hell out of her. Walking Helga, their German Shepherd dog, and even though she wanted to hold the leash, he was a smart man and wouldn't let her, and as he was too afraid that she would drag her. Lying under the coffee table and looking at his and then later mine and Catherine's drawings. The bubble baths that they had in Kayleen, so Dad would make mountains of bubbles for the kids and they would play and make bubble beards in your hair. They even had a secret handshake that they invented, and she was telling me how much she loved how he was so excited to do it every time they saw each other. And in the end, she grew very fond of their meandering chats that had no particular pathway and at times lasted until their phone batteries went flat. And sometimes she said that she had to run and grab the extension cord just so that they could keep talking. And she sends all of her love and hugs to him as well. All right.
Clint only caught up with Dad last week. Dad was really looking forward to seeing him from the moment he knew he was in the area. And Clint's just shared a few short thoughts on our dad. Kevin played an important role in my life as he opened up my eyes to numerous things, including several metaphysical topics and also about being a father. We always had a lot to talk about on many things, as we were like-minded, kindred spirits, you could say. And the last one.
Alright, so this is from Michael and Lizzie, and so they're 2 of Dad's long-lasting friends whose friendship started in a workplace and still remains until today. So Kevin has been a great friend for approximately 35 years since we first met him while working for the Department of Administrative Services. We will always remember his dynamic and generous man who was very giving of his time, energy, and vast technical and practical knowledge. Michael and I both enjoyed having long telephone conversations with Kevin, At these, he often shared funny stories and advice on a wide range of topics. Over the course of some 30 years, until he went to Tasmania, Kevin helped us to complete a range of home building projects. Kevin showed great compassion when it came to animals in need. He particularly cared for and looked after our special dog Woody, who was found roaming the street, and we were quick to adopt. It's hard to accept Kevin's passing, and he will always remain in our hearts. He greatly impacted our lives with his generosity of spirit and will always be remembered by us with great fondness. You were greatly loved.
So that's me now.
Yep.
Now Kat's going to read her reflections on the memories of her beloved father.
Dad, I've cried many tears recently. And although I'm immensely sad, I know I feel this way because of how lucky I am that I have you as my dad. Not everyone wishes for more time, more memories, more advice, more stories. And I consider myself lucky that we all wish so much for you to stick around forever. And at times it honestly felt like you could, because you always had a remarkable way of bouncing back. Over the past couple of days, I've had the pleasure of going deep into the archives, sifting through photos and reading the memories of your nearest and dearest. In many ways I found it therapeutic, and it confirmed to me the person I think and I know you are. Every person spoke of the same things. Your helpfulness, your generosity, your willingness to give your time to anyone, your absolute love for your friends, your family and your pets. Although I may not have wanted to admit it earlier, I do see so much of you in me. Through you I gained strength and I developed my little fighting spirit. You taught me the value of connection and giving time to all the people we cross paths with. I also gained your strong sense of loyalty. You and I protect those we love to the end. Unfortunately, we also believe we are always right, even if it could be possible that one of us is wrong. In addition to this, I've also inherited your absolute love of pets. A friend of mine messaged me yesterday and reminded me of a few things. The time you built me a mini bin with a pedal for me for a uni assignment because I was not an engineer, I was just trying to be one. The photos in your bell bottoms when you first met Mum, and how I used to tell people I could never get married because the guy would have to be at least as good as you, with the handyman skills to boot. I just didn't believe it was possible. But then, it was only last week, I told you I think I may have accidentally married a guy just like you. You and Tom have many of the same interests and the same willingness to help others. He's always wanting to learn more and improve. I loved seeing you and Tom grow closer each time you caught up and seeing him develop those handyman skills I admired so much in you. I hope this made you proud. Spending my summer holidays with you is something I will hold close to my heart forever. I love talking to you about your future granddaughter, and how surprised you were at how big I was getting. I love talking about the dogs. I love talking about road trips, our achievements, watching countless television shows in your room that we made our home, and that you even tried to stay awake during the Barbie movie. I know that through those weeks you put up the hardest fight of your life, and that you did your best to make us happy by sticking around as long as you could. Your strength through those weeks was immense, which only adds to the feelings of pride I have for you. I will always cherish the last time we made eye contact, the last hug, and the last few kisses on the cheek. I will never forget the last time you told me you loved me and wished us all a good night. I think you are all strength, all wisdom, and all love. I love you, I miss you, and I wish I had more time with you. I promise to continue your legacy by sharing stories of you, and I can't wait for your future granddaughter to hear of you. You're going to be the greatest guardian granddad in the universe. Tom and I have learned so much about what it means to be a wonderful parent from you, and I know you are watching and guiding us from afar, and I promise to forever grow and learn. I hope to make you as proud of me as I am of you. Thank you.
Thank you everyone who has shared so far. Before I read a reflection from Letitia, is there any final people who would like to get up and share any thoughts or anything about Kevin? Today, understandably, Letitia has asked me to read her letter to Kevin on her behalf. My dear Kevin, I'm so sorry and sad that you had to go, but I do understand. I love you so much and I will miss you forever. I can proudly say that you're the best thing that ever happened to me, and because of that, we created two wonderful daughters, Teresa and Catherine, whom you adored so very much. I know you're watching this and will continue to protect us in your own special way. May you rest in peace, my darling. I hope you're having fun, Charlie, Bo and Helga. Thank you for being my wonderful and loving husband for almost 50 years. I'm missing you so very much, Kevin. I love you very much. Lots and lots of love. Tish. Can I now ask Kevin's brother James to come up and read the poem for Kevin? Thanks, James.
Well, as Tom said, I'm James, Kevin's brother. He got the smarts, I got the sawdust. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn's rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. You can shed tears that he is gone, or you can smile because he is left. You can close your eyes and pray that he will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that is left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he is gone, or you can cherish his memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what you would want. Smile, open your eyes, love and go on. Rest in peace, brother.
Thank you, James. That was lovely. Thank you, everyone, today for your kind words. Thank you to everyone who's joined us who wasn't able to be here in person but is watching on the link. Thank you everyone for your kind words and thoughts. I'm sure Kevin is here with us today, and despite his wish for minimal fuss or his farewell, we are sure he would have loved the sentiments shared. What Kevin truly wished for is for his ashes to be scattered at Powers Lookout, close to where he grew up in Mansfield, Victoria, where he had some of his richest experiences as a young man. The scattering of Kevin's ashes will occur on the 8th of March. His immediate family have booked a home in a town close to the Lookout where they will host an intimate memorial for Kevin with his nearest and dearest. We hope to see as many of you there as possible as we continue to celebrate the wonderful legacy of Kevin. After today, we welcome you back to Tish and Kevin's house in Port Sorrel for some light refreshments. Thank you for today. We'll miss you, Kevin, but we will carry your memory in our hearts forever. Thank you for teaching us all the real meaning of life, family, friendships, and unconditional love. Thank you, Kevin.